is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to our third writer-in-residence here at the Hub City Writers Project. Patrick Whitfill began making an impact on our program before he even got here. That's because in the past, our artists-in-residence have every Monday mopped the floor, but we had someone coming who had a PhD and a doctor in front of his name, and we said, no more artists cleaning the floor. We hired a cleaning crew. Patrick was born and raised in a West Texas panhandle town named Plainview, which is the desert. The desert of Texas is throughout his work. He's been a teacher for 6 years as he pursued his degrees. He's had poetry published in the Alabama Literary Review, Mid-American Review, Poet Lore, Ellipsis, and other places. While he's here, he's finishing his first collection of poems called After the Lightning Storm, and he's working on a second, tentatively called Thither and Elsewhere. With no further ado, Patrick's going to come read you a sample of his work, and I appreciate your attention.
Yay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yay, poetry. Yeah, a little poetry reading. So we're going to go ahead and barricade the doors and open a couple of bottles of wine. I'm kidding. There's no wine. But I thought, yeah, I'm going to read a few things. Just read a few things and give a little sampling. They'll be really sad, but I'll tell little jokes in between, and that should kind of almost even it out. Thank you all for coming. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the entire community. It's been fantastic. I usually don't speak for other people, but I feel fine in saying that all four have just an absolute amazing experience. We've been here more than a welcome, even, which reminds me of a mat that tells you have to wipe your feet. It's more of like a, I don't know, like a philanthropic kindness. It's been really nice since we've been here, and that's being, you know, it's not even nice enough to say. But yeah, thank you. Good job. I appreciate it. But I promised myself, I was waiting to hear if I was going to get this residency. And this is the big mic. And while I was doing it to sort of bide my time, so I wouldn't just get nervous, was I started reading the Iliad by Homer. Naturally, right? That's what you do, everybody? No? Okay, but I did. And so I told myself that if I got this residency, I was reading it. And book 2 of the Iliad, which of course is the great story, the Sack of Troy. Yeah, so and there was this line, I was reading it, and I was sitting in my kitchen, I was reading it out loud, and I came across these lines, and I told myself, I said, if I get this residency, I have to read these lines when I show up. So I'm going to start off with 3 little lines from Homer, and at the point of this poem, it's in book 2, and the point of the poem, all of Agamemnon's men are on the beach, and so it's just this massive crowd of men, and all these, wearing shields and spears and stuff. So, but anyway, it's kind of corny, but I kind of like it. Anyway, 3 lines from Homer. It says, turmoil grew in the great field as they entered and sat down, clangorous companies, the ground under them groaning, hubbub everywhere. Oh, Homer knew. Okay. You don't get that famous without knowing what you're doing. I don't believe I just said that. Here's some poems. I'm gonna start off really sad, and then I'm gonna build you up, okay? You gotta get up and get down. We all know that, yeah? Okay, good. Again. This first poem I'm gonna read, wait, let me get a time here. Okay, just making sure. This first poem I'm gonna read from West Texas, like Betsy said. And in West Texas, the part I'm at, we're part of the Canadian geese migratory pattern, so that every winter, this just huge influx of geese come into town, and so you'll just be sitting around. I'm so glad you got that picture right there. So you'll be sitting around. This honking will happen the entire time. You know that it's basically wintertime, and so a lot of geese show up in my poems. And eventually, my director said, "I think you've used the geese enough." Which I don't know about that, so I'm gonna read this one. It's entitled "This Winter." You wear blue like a wish and hold your breath until the snow changes its quick back pattern. You want to ignore the garberdine throating of the blackbirds clogging the horizon. Now, the moon rises a bit later, and the trees push their branches against night. And yesterday, I saw a flock of geese passing over our house. I forgot to mention it. They were singing, I think, or praying. Whatever it was sad and poor and lasted for far too long. So sad. No, it's okay. Okay. This next one's exceptionally new, and I'm reading it second in case I decide that I hate it later. It won't be the last thing that I do. So I don't really want to know anything else about it, but we'll see. If tomorrow I'm looking very downtrodden, it's because it turns out this poem wasn't good. The title of the poem is Peripheral. Potentially, it's with the lightning bug, or the embers flung from a barfly's final drag off a Salem. Each leaf has a light for just so long, as to make the losing of it a paltry thing, but still a sight, if obliquely caught, worth the seeing. And so, the woman wearing sandals, who, because the afternoon is pleasing, screws her neck around to clock the moiling lines of westerly roving clouds, may snag a glance of that fallen oak leaf, lightly loaded with the fine weight of middle summer and its twisted dance around her slender ankles, rise and fall, as if repeating some courtly bow, and all the other litter flirting by the curb's side, catching strings of sunlight soft as down. She can stay, if not amazed, then satisfied, and stroll away happy, if only just for now.